it was, I think, incorrectly ascribed to be a white supremacist action. And the evidence for that was some obscure Russian website that no one's ever heard of that had no followers. And
he's talking about the
shooter.
company
that found this is Bellingcat.
Right.
And do you know what Bellingcat does? PsyOps.
Right. I couldn't really even follow exactly what it was.
Oh my God, he's crazy.
Part why I was curious.
I'm saying that I thought the ascribing it to white supremacy was bullshit.
Okay.
And that the information for that came from an obscure Russian website and was somehow magically found by Bellingcat, which is a company that does PsyOps.
And there's no proof, by the way, that he was not.
There's no proof.
He's not wrong about Bellingcat, but in this circumstance, it doesn't matter.
And that's a debate you want to get into.
Like, just because they are, just because they're CIA doesn't change the reality that this part is true. You know what I mean?
Okay. Can we talk about AI now? Sure. Actually, I want to talk about AI. Well, let me end with Twitter in the sense of Sam Altman was on the Hill today, and he said AI's ability to manipulate interactive disinformation is a significant
obscure just
area
because not American. It's obscure to Americans. It's weird that he was using that fucking Russian website as a diary.
I'm curious as to whether you agree with that. How you see that even playing out on Twitter with people who, who knows, somebody could look like you.
I like that this fucking David Faber immediately fucking flipped it to AI away from like Elon saying unhinged white supremacist shit.
So the reason that I'm asking people to be verified on
anyway,
Twitter,
a 3-minute ad break is upon us,
and that we're saying
you already know what to do if you want an uninterrupted broadcast experience,
which means that you've at least passed through whatever their security mechanisms are. That you have a credit card, so you now have passed through whatever security mechanisms the credit card company has, and that there's some small amount of money paid per month. That set of actions significantly increases the cost of fake accounts, and with the latest AI, it can bypass basically every test for are you a human. So then how do you know that a million accounts were created? How do you know that those are people?
I don't know. How do you?
Exactly. You have to do account verification. And the thing that makes I sort of put myself in the position of like, if it was my goal to manipulate public opinion and create millions of accounts and make it seem as though a topic was trending, and that this is actually what the public believes, but in order to do so, I had to get a million phone numbers, a million credit card numbers, and pay $8 a month,
right?
And have that all not be traceable and clustered, I would say it's impossible. Impossible. So the goal of the sort of Twitter verification is fundamentally to prevent AI manipulation of the system.
Got it. Final question on Twitter. Walter Isaacson, your biographer, he said your big goal for Twitter is disrupting the banking industry.
Well,
is that accurate?
I'd say that's a look. First of all, I don't want to disrupt something for the sake of disrupting it. It's more like if there is a better product, that's great. But I'm not out for disruption for the sake of disruption. I'm like, if we can make a product that improves quality of life for people that they find more useful, that's great. What people see in PayPal is sort of like a halfway. It's frankly sort of a half-baked version of what it could be. And so I think there's potential to create a more efficient financial system. And here we can get, again, quite esoteric into sort of information theory. But the actual financial system today is a heterogeneous set of databases running on mainframes and COBOL that still engage in batch processing. It's really quite very inefficient. So things are still not real time. And so it's possible to have a much more efficient, homogeneous real-time data system. Money is just information. And so but that's not like the only reason. It's just a thing that would be, I think, poetic to fulfill ultimately the vision that I had for X over 23 years ago, and actually see that come to fruition would be nice. But there are many other things for Twitter. It's not just financial stuff.
Well, you talk about enhancing humanity. I'm curious then about AI, which many people say will lead to great productivity gains. You showed those robots. I mean, I can imagine what they conceivably could do when powered by AI. But I'm also curious, because you've certainly been concerned, what percentage do you give the chance that it will destroy humanity?
Well, the advent of artificial general intelligence is called a singularity because it is so hard to predict what will happen after that. I think it's very much a double-edged sword. I think there's a strong probability that it will make life much better, and that we'll have an age of abundance. And there's some chance that it goes wrong.
I got a new fucking gate, and it's so goddamn small, it's mind-boggling.
Hopefully that chance is small, but it's not zero. And so I think we want to take whatever actions we can think of.
And we just found out that the gate requires...
And you've called for a pause, along with the...
Okay, shut the fuck up, Elon, about artificial intelligence, dumbass. Singularity, all this shit. Yeah, Murat just opened the fucking thing and goes, oh, the gate also... The assembly of this gate also requires additional components that you have to buy. A few people in the chat are getting ads, including me, even though we're subbed. I promise I mean this from a good place and only to inform so you don't catch strays from yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm looking into it. Looking into it. Okay? I don't know. I don't know if, like... Wait, what? Did I just get fucking clapped from this space?
This, it's not... we don't have enough time, and nor is this the moment to really talk about it.
Okay.
Concerning.
We will have a launch event, and we'll explore the issues in more detail. But I should say that and I mentioned this at the shareholder meeting, that Tesla has actually tremendous capability in real-world AI.
Yes.
In fact, it is very far.
Oh, it's live on...
I wanted me to sign on to the letter, and it's like I knew it would be futile. Like, it's one of those things, well, for the record, I recommended that we pause.
Okay.
Did I think there would be a pause? Absolutely not. So,
but you're starting XAI, I think that's what you're calling it, or some new AI effort. Well, how's it going to be different than OpenAI or Alphabet?
This is not the time to this is not. We don't have enough time, and nor is this the moment to really talk about it.
Okay.
We will have a launch event, and we'll explore the issues in more detail. But I should say that and I mentioned this at the shareholder meeting, that Tesla has actually tremendous capability in real-world AI.
Yes.
In fact, it is very far ahead of anyone.
I know people actually on Twitter prior to our interview were saying, he never gets asked about how advanced his AI is at Tesla. You always talk about the other names.
Tesla AI is, like I said, it's like, I'm not even sure who's second, frankly.
Why is that? Then what are people not understanding about what you have, and why are we talking so much about ChatGPT and generative AI at OpenAI and what Microsoft's going to be able to do with it, and not about Tesla?
I don't know. I mean, people do talk about it online. I think Tesla will have sort of a ChatGPT moment. Maybe if not this year, I'd say no later than next year.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. You're going to have a
sort of ChatGPT moment.
Oh, you will. In terms of suddenly it will.
Yeah, suddenly 3 million cars will be able to drive themselves with no one.
Right. It goes back to that. Right.
Yeah, and then 5 million cars, and then 10 million cars. So And I would also say that if positions were reversed and say, well, in fact, the positions are reversed. For example, Google has Waymo, which is sort of attempting self-driving, and they are able to make self-driving work in a very limited
Dude, he's the richest person on the planet. There's no instance where like they're not gonna suck him off. Okay? The entire purpose of the media is to literally suck his dick dry. So he could say the most unhinged white supremacist reactionary nonsense, and his net worth alone will cause every fucking serious journalist who went to like every fucking serious journalism school and spent all of their time doing serious journalism to turn around and just be like, yes, let's move on to AI really quickly after he said like the white supremacist was a psyop. You know what I mean? That's it. There's no, it's not going to be contentious. No matter what happens, they're going to suck his dick dry. Okay?
And we flip the tasks, Tesla would win.
You'd win.
Yes.
And you have the computing power and everything else you need to do it.
Absolutely.
I'm being told we don't have that much time. Can you give me another 5 minutes? Or
Yeah, I think so. I do have a board meeting.
I know.
But 5 minutes is probably fine, sure.
Okay, thank you.
We can make it smaller.
OpenAI, I mean, you seem somewhat frustrated with them. You were one of the big contributors early on.
The reason I am the reason OpenAI exists.
How much money did you give them?
I'm not sure the exact number, but it's some number on the order of $50 million. Man, fate loves irony, next level. So I used to be close friends with Larry Page, and I would stay at his house, and we'd have these conversations long into the evening about AI, and I would be constantly urging him to be careful about the danger of AI, and
Falling asleep? What are you doing?
he was really not concerned about the danger of AI and was quite cavalier about it, and at the time, Google, especially after their acquisition of DeepMind, had 3/4 of the world's AI talent. They had obviously a lot of computers and a lot of money. So it was a unipolar world for AI.
We spent the past hour joking about Yeonmi Parks, who lies all the time as a profession. But this man literally invented that. Well, he didn't invent it, but he perfected it. You know what I mean? Like, he lies just as much as Yeonmi Parks does, but because he's a billionaire and some of his lies, no matter whichever way they pan out, have yielded tremendous success for him and his stock, it doesn't matter. He can just get away with saying whatever the fuck he wants.
Right, so you helped to the creation of OpenAI. You put in as much as $50 million.
More than helped. It wouldn't exist without me.
It wouldn't exist without you. So,
I came up with a name.
Right.
The name OpenAI refers to open source. So the intent was, what's the opposite? What's the opposite of Google? Would be an open source nonprofit, because Google is closed source for profit, and that profit motivation can be potentially dangerous.
should you have gotten governance for that money? Should you have gotten some level of control, perhaps, in retrospect?
Yeah, I fully admit to being a huge idiot here. Anyway, so OpenAI was like meant to be OpenAI, open as an open source. It was created as a 501c3, so part of it is also, in the beginning, I thought, look, this is probably a hopeless endeavor. How could we possibly compete with? How could OpenAI possibly compete with Google DeepMind? I mean, this seemed like an ant against an elephant, you know, which is not a contest. And I was also, I was instrumental in recruiting the key scientists and engineers, most notably Ilya Sutskever. In fact, Ilya went back and forth several times because he would say he's going to join OpenAI, then Demis would convince him not to, then I would convince him to do so, and this went back and forth several times, and ultimately he decided to join OpenAI, and really Ilya joining was the linchpin for OpenAI being ultimately successful.
So you're very disappointed in what's happened there in terms of it becoming a for-profit. Did you take any action? Sue them in some way?
I do think that there's some. Look, it does seem weird that something can be a non-profit open source and somehow transform itself into a for-profit closed source. I mean, this would be like let's say you funded an organization to save the Amazon rainforest, and instead they became a lumber company and chopped down the forest and sold it for money. And you'd be therefore like, well, wait a second, that's the exact opposite of what I gave the money for.
Yeah.
Is that legal? That doesn't seem legal. And if it is, and in general, if it is legal to start a company as a nonprofit and then take the IP and transfer it to a for-profit that then makes tons of money, shouldn't everyone start? Shouldn't that be the default?
Right.
And then I also think it's important to understand the like when push comes to shove, let's say they do create some digital superintelligence, almost godlike intelligence. Well, who's in control?
Yeah.
And what exactly is the relationship between OpenAI and Microsoft? And I do worry that Microsoft actually may be more in control than, say, the leadership team at OpenAI realizes.
One of them get along.
I mean, Microsoft, as part of the Microsoft's investment, they have rights to all of the software.
Chat, Mirage just fucking rolled up with a slice of banana cream pie and didn't bring any for your boy. Are y'all still rocking with Marat or nah? Okay. You got recognized at work today? By who? Like, what do you mean? They were like, oh, I recognize you for your wonderful contributions to Boeing? Or like, do they recognize you from the... Like, oh, like you're Marat. Wait. Wait, what? Apparently, they recognized him at the lunch line. They were like, oh, you're Marat. Dude, you're famous in Boeing? Damn, dude. He's the public face, dude. He's the public face of science out here. That's crazy. Give me a fucking banana cream pie slice, please. What the fuck is this shit? Your colleagues are going to know you're a piece of shit who doesn't bring his obby banana cream pie and eats right in his face. No, you're eating it right in my face. That's crazy. That's crazy. Know the real him, okay? His Abi? Yeah, that's what it is. That Abi means older brother. That's what he calls me. That's... Damn it, he's back after that banana cream pie transgression? Yes. He gets recognized one time and he's too big time to give you pie. Holy. Yeah. Yeah. Eat his ass. Look at this fucking guy. He's like, yeah, I'm too famous, dog. Get your own fucking banana cream pie, bitch. That's what he's doing.
I mean, if I think about it too hard, it frankly can be dispiriting and demotivating. Because, I mean, I go through, I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into building the companies, and then I'm like, wait, well, should I be doing this?
Oh,
because
he puts a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, man.
sacrificing
It's
time
so
with friends
hard
and
for
family,
him. It's so like Twitter. Like we know how much blood, sweat, and tears he put into Twitter.
AI can do all these things. Does that make sense? I don't know. To some extent, I have to have deliberate suspension of disbelief in order to remain motivated. So I guess I would say just, you know, work on things that you find interesting, fulfilling, and that contribute some good to the rest of society.
Okay. Well, that's a great place to end. There's so much we didn't get to. I hope you'll give me another chance to sit down with you. But Elon, thank you for being so generous with your time. Thanks to your board for waiting as well, and thanks for having us here.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. We are your loyal subjects, your loyal servants, sir. Thank you, sir. Anyway, listen. We looked at muzzle length, tail length, likely normal tail length. Likely to have hind dew claws. Let's get back to fucking the real issue at hand. Kaya. Okay? Are you going to bring her in here at least? Bring her in here? No, I want a slice. What the fuck is this? He said there's only a finite amount of pie and that's why I didn't give it to you. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's not an infinite resource, which is why you should share. What the fuck are hind dew claws? Which are extra non-functional digits located midway between the dog's paw and hock. Oh. How many points did you get in escapability and acrobatics? Back muscling, bulk. Likely normal muscling. Heavy muscling along the back and trunk. Characteristic bulky large breed dogs, including St. Bernard, Bernese Mountain Dog. Eye color, less likely to have blue eyes. She does not have blue eyes. Starting today, we'll be offering Twitter Gold, a free subscription that gets you yearly family vacations and nightly dinners with me. If your name is Grimes, please come back. I love you. Yeah. Okay. Oh, dew claw in the back. Does she have it? Here. Yes, she was. Her mouth is so wet right now. She's slobbering. Okay, she doesn't have the hind dew claws. So they're wrong about this. But I want to know like what are her deck strats? You know what I mean? Performance, altitude adaptation, increased altitude tolerance, appetite linkage, normal food motivation. It can be higher up the foot than the paw, just FYI. No, I looked. Anyway, these are all charisma build, I think. Good feats for Kaya. Stat allocation looks strong overall. Is she a strength build? I think she's a strength build. She does have some, you know, it's interesting. She's a strength build, but she also has a lot of stealth stats. It's very weird. For like how large and how intimidating of a presence she is, she does tend to have very agile. She's not like a tanky strength build. She's actually literally a strength and dexterity build because you can't really hear her when she's walking. Yeah, Fiona. Well, Fiona is also like she's like she has a bouldering gait, whereas like she has very light feet. Fiona is literally not a lady. She's big. She's a chonker. Anyway, she's got that quality build so fitting. No, I thought quality wasn't strength index. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it basically says that she will be like 77 pounds, but I don't think so. Oh, quality is a strength index build. Okay, yeah, she is a quality build then. I thought quality. Wait, what is a int index then? Dude, look at this. Look at this fucking thing. What are you looking at? She heard the Tibetan Mastiff started looking up. That's very fake, brother. No, I don't think this is fake. Index is called easy mode. She's not the same color as Kaya. This is a red Tibetan Mastiff. That's an inbred ass dog right there. Anyway, 77 pounds is still big. She's being a good size and more healthy. I wanted her to be like 100 plus, you know what I mean? But hey, I'll take it. What is with me and my nipples? I don't know. I just post them. Okay, so this is the I keep going back to this, but this is the magazine King Kong that I was on, that I was on the cover of, and I already told you guys the story of how I encountered the magazine out in the wild. And it was shocking to me. Mark, can you bring it? It's like right there on that table, right? Literally, like yeah. And I don't even know which fucking page this is on, but no, but we'll find it. So I got interviewed by this person who was like very knowledgeable of the stream and of the community of the culture around Twitch, and you can see that reflected in the magazine. No, yeah, here, give it to me for a second. This is it. This is the magazine cover. As you can see, it is I on the magazine cover. You can see some of the photos. There is a fuck. It starts off with, I was texting Matt Healy and he called you so hot. Which we read already. I'm going to read you some other parts here. They even included my Instagram stories on here, which is wild. But on the topic of Tate, yes, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Matty Healy. Yes. On the topic of Tate, what do you think of all the poisonous avenues that exist for young men to try and explore their masculinity, when it's really just older dudes exploiting this wounding in men and preying on their lack of direction in the world? The greatest example of when you talk about Andrew Tate is the Bugatti. Any confident person who is secure will tell you that these kinds of material possessions are constantly talking about how wealthy you are. It's not something that the truly powerful people do. It's just something you do when you don't have it. Constantly saying that you're an alpha male implies that you're not whatever the fuck you think an alpha male is, really. People have a genuine sense of despair right now. Everything is out of their control. There's this daily attitude towards life that nothing we do is ever going to change. People feel powerless over the institutions and inherently oppressive structures that we exist under. But it's not like people directly recognize what the cause is and can associate or can point out and identify the villain. They can't, but they still feel the impact of it. When you don't have an actual productive outlook that could give you some fulfillment and you don't find anything that is genuinely interesting, everything is just constantly watching Instagram, watching TikTok, watching other people that are better looking than you, living better lives. Their lives are fucking dog shit too. But they present an insane, unattainable life. You're looking for any kind of exit strategy you can. That's why scams are super prominent. It's not new. Social media has certainly been a good vehicle to create more opportunities to scam people. But I don't know. I feel like people are more interested in snake oil than ever before. Zami says, I think that everyone on the planet is godless and has no sense of spirituality. It's tragic. To which I respond, I'm not a spiritual person per se, but I've always wanted to progress. I've always wanted to better myself, whether this is through bodybuilding or identifying my goals and figuring out what I want to achieve. I've had dark moments and sad moments, but I feel like people aren't focusing on themselves. People prefer to focus on whatever chaos they want to create around them through overuse of the internet. Zemi says, do you get attacked online about your own presentation of masculinity? All the time. People love pointing to any photo of me cross-dressing, and it's like, bro, I literally would fuck your mom in this dress. I'm over here looking good. I'm very confident in my sexuality. I don't give a shit. I'll cross-dress, but then guys on the internet will be making fun of me saying, dude, look at this. But I like sharing these photos. You want to know why? Because I look pretty goddamn good. All of these straight guys want to fuck women, yet they carry so much genuine animosity and hate towards them. I don't get it. It's learned behavior and social conditioning. It comes from a sense of entitlement for sure. Like, you're a guy, you're supposed to get this because of your gender. People have no interpersonal communication skills, even in romantic relationships. It's very difficult for people to navigate. Everything is so black and white in that PUA world. Do you feel as a young millennial guy in this world that you've had to unlearn things you were conditioned with in the late 90s and early 2000s? Every single day, of course, 100%. Absolutely. I certainly held on to misogynistic and transphobic attitudes in my youth. Holding on is a great way to put that. It makes you feel safe. I just think our understanding of gender is not correct as a society, and I talk about this avidly through the topic of transphobia. As an open-minded guy, what was it like doing your King Kong photo shoot? Did it feel cathartic for you to lose control? To which I responded, dude, I wasn't losing control. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm barely an actor. Do you want me to be honest? The only thing I thought about the whole time was, I hope I look hot. I hope I look good. I hope I look skinny. I haven't seen the pics. Have you? Do I look good? And that's the snippet that they included from the longer interview that we did. And then the rest of it is just photos like from the shoot. But yeah, I was being honest. Is the magazine about you, or are you one of the features? No, I am just simply one of the many features in this magazine. There's a lot of crazy stuff in here, though. On the same issue, they actually, I think, shot Winnie Harlow as well. But did they interview her? I don't know. I don't think they interviewed her. I think they just shot her and dressed her up in crazy stuff. I love withdrawal. Oh, there's naked. Oh, there's nudity. There's a lot of nudity in here. I did not realize there was so much. Okay. Oh, there's titties. A lot of titties in here. Okay, we're going to close the magazine before I make a mistake on stream. Okay. You are the popular kid now. New Boeing CEO and heartthrob? Yeah, no. What is this magazine you were in? It's called King Kong, and it's like an art, fashion, culture magazine from Europe. I forget which country it's out of. It's based out of. Hasan reading a nudie mag with his stream just for the articles, I swear. No, it's not. It's not like titties you can jerk off to. It's like artistic titties. You know what I mean? Titties where you're like, ooh, that can be hot, or ooh, that can be kind of gross, but in a way that makes you think. You know what I mean? Sakura Gore made a new edit about the magazine.
Psycho killer? Can I be the...
This is Sakura Gore's edit I just got here? Yes, it is. The magazine is sold out. Will it be back? I doubt it. Pretty sure they, I don't know if they like re-release stuff like that. Did you really kill somebody for the shoot? Yes, I did. What is this satanic shit? Hello. Welcome to the fucking left, dude. We're Satan lovers. Like, what do you mean? We're Satan worshipers. Website is down again? It doesn't even matter because you can't even fucking... Let's be real. You can't even get it. You weren't even going to be able to get it. Anyway, so there it is. The magazine is out. Might be from France, yeah. Why do you think the right talks about us so much? We love Satan? Yeah. Brother, do you think you'll eventually get on Vogue and shit? Are you mainstream like that yet? Congrats, by the way. I will tell you this much. There are a lot of components that would allow me to be mainstream, but one of the greatest hurdles in me becoming mainstream is myself. I don't know if this is like surprising to you or not, but it is the reality. I'll give you an example. I will not tell you which fashion house it is, but a fashion house actually invited me to go to Europe, to fly out to Europe and attend their, I don't know what it's called. Attend one of their, like, it was like a runway. And I said, no, it's not Balenciaga. No. Not like to actually walk their runway, just to attend it. Okay. I said no. I said no to that because one, I don't have a lot of time. And two, I knew that I'd get fucking canceled. So I didn't do it. See, even people are like kind of glad you didn't go. So also that, see, look. Also, that's a lot of emissions just to go to a show. See? Like, as though the plane is only flying for me, man. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, I'm not flying in a private jet, brother. But, like, it's a great example. That's a great example of part of the reason why I didn't do it. So whenever, no, the plane is flying for the 300 people on it, many of which should stay home. Hey, guys, I know you're like probably, hey, if you're flying to Europe to visit your relatives who are about to get like, cancer treatment or whatever, stay the fuck home because Fango decided that you should stay the fuck home. Hey, are you going on a work trip? Yeah, you should actually quit your job because that would mean you have lower emissions. Are the relatives a fashion show? Oh, I didn't realize the plane was flying exclusively for me and my fashion show, which we addressed already. Again, you're doing it. You're doing it right now. There are a million different reasons as to why people fucking fly, okay? I'm not giving you exactly what country it is because I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give... You're doing it. You're misreading the messages. No, I'm not doing it. But this fucking... I was telling them how I didn't want to go to fly out for like a fashion show. It was going to be next... It's next month, I think. I believe it was supposed to be next month. And... No. That's Japan. Which I will be going to. But once again, the plane flies there. It's commercial aircraft. It doesn't matter if I'm on it or not. The plane is still going to fly there just as it does every single fucking day. 1,000,000 times a day. Okay? So that's the reason why I said there are plenty of people that are flying. It's funny how chat talks about emissions from big corps being bad, yet somehow thinks that fuel use is not something causing emissions. Weird. Bro, if you think emissions from big corporations are identical to like, air travel, I don't know what to tell you. Commercial air travel, especially because commercial air travel has to exist. Like, I'm not flying in a private jet. Okay? I have flown in a private jet. Not that one I chartered personally, but one I actually hitched a ride on. Okay? Did I feel ethically ambiguous or sad about that decision? No. Fuck no. I did not. But if you consider, like, your own carbon footprint on a commercial jet that is flying to the destination that you're going to go to regardless... by stopping yourself individually from going there, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think they're memeing, actually. Commercial air travel are the big corporations, and they purchase fuel from oil companies. These are the cores we're talking about. Dude, I know you're like an EV evangelist, but I did not realize that you personally thought that you should also individually bike everywhere you go. Or, I don't know, I guess what? Like, should I be taking a boat? Should I be swimming over the fucking Atlantic or Pacific, depending on where I'm going? You know what I mean? Should I take a fucking hot air balloon if I'm traveling to Europe? Because I went to England recently. That was a big waste of resources, according to you. Transportation is the largest emitting sector. Thank you for your chat and all your pings of support. I'm glad you understand that the environment is the number one issue. Brother, I don't know how to describe this to you, but like everything that you order and every form of travel that you engage in is going to still have a negative impact on the environment. Of course. It's about making meaningful changes through systemic action in areas where there is no adequate substitute. There is no adequate substitute in areas where there is adequate substitute. Sorry. There is no adequate substitute to fucking flying over the Atlantic. What the fuck are you saying? Like, you can't even, bro, you can't even fucking literally say like, oh, you should have taken the train or something. You know what I mean? But there is an adequate substitute, which is what you did. You didn't go to a show that you didn't need to be at. That's a good thing. No, I didn't. I chose not to go because I have dumbasses in my community that would get mad at me. And I did not think that you would get mad at me for this reason. I thought it would be like, that's a problematic brand. This is a high fashion luxury good that does not need additional PR or marketing. You are. This is insanity. This is the funniest fucking dude. I hate being a leftist. I swear to God. And then the chat killed me and canceled me for the And then the chat killed me and then canceled me for the cost of my coffin, and said that the coffin was made with materials that were genuinely harmful. This is why you should have went. That's what I mean. This is a bit. It's not a bit. It's not. It's not a bit. Not true. A buddy of mine bikes across the ocean, making the surface ice as he goes along. Alternatives exist, buddy. I know. Except I know who you're talking about. And unfortunately, he's not a big fan of mine because I'm a pirate, okay? And he's a Navy admiral. So obviously, we don't get along. He's a fucking cop and I'm a pirate. So I can't do that, unfortunately. All commercial flights have cargo. They're essential for the supply chain. There's not adequate international replacements for that transit speed. Exactly. No, 100%. He's talking about One Piece again. Muting. I apologize to everyone who is a green energy activist in the chat because I unfortunately have yet to invent another form of transportation over large bodies of water that is more environmentally friendly. Apologies for everyone. Okay? I'm sorry. I do not know how to I don't know how to transport myself through the teleportation. So was that trip to Japan a bad thing in the chatter's eyes? Probably. I would assume. Every single trip I've taken, I have, turned into work for myself. But ultimately is a trip that I didn't have to take. I could just stay at home and stream from home. So I suspect that flying to Japan was a gigantic nuisance and a horrifyingly bad misusage of the limited amount of emissions that I should be wasting. Or does he think that it's okay? I don't know, because he liked the content. If you go back to read the actual messages, you will see words many and unnecessary. Those planes fly to carry people. They don't just fly for fun. Fewer people